Good day everyone, Ma'am Joanne Macanas and my dear classmates. Today we will be tackling about the Cubism Art Movement.
But before we start, let me introduce myself. Hi, I am Cares Abigail Arabarques, delighted to be here today together with my partner, Marian Jelly A. Tajam.
For the lessons outline, we will be tackling one by one the Cubism's art style. First is the history and background, second, characteristics, third, leading contributors and influential works.
Next slide. What do you think? Why is this style of painting called Cubist? To answer the question, ito ay mainly dahil sa form ng content ng painting. Yung geometrical shapes niya, pwede rin yung colors niya, at saka yung form ng painting na parang collage. Moving on, for today's objectives, we will learn about Cubism, explore the developments of this art movement, and discover Cubism's artwork.
Cubism is considered to be among the most influential art movements of the 20th century. Brinot up din ito ng European painting and sculpture historically forward to 20th century modern art. Its various forms are inspired related movements in music, literature, and architecture. Kaya in the next slides din is maobserbahan nyo na ang mga paintings sa era na ito ay may mga instruments like violins in terms of music, yung mga pang everyday life, and architectures which is related sa mga design or style ng mga houses. Ito din daw ay in-invent ni Pablo Picasso and George Braque sa Paris noong 1907 to 1914. Si Louis Vauxhall naman ang nag-coin ng Cubism. Ito is nakuha niya from the paintings na landscape of Braque, which is inspired daw by Cézanne. Na-coin niya ito sa landscape na painting ni Braque kasi mostly observed sa may paintings nito is puro may mga geometric forms. To be specific is yung mga cubes niya. Moving forward to history and backgrounds. Early Cubism, from the word itself, early or masasabi ring beginning, dito din daw nag-emerge yung pagkakakilala ni Cézanne. Yung about sa mga artwork niya, parang this time ng era, ito yung trend sa kanila kung saan is meron siyang qualities na kulang sa pagkakaroon 3Dness, material quality, like, kasi diba unti pa lang yung materials na nagagamit nila noon and hindi pa gaanong kagandahan. And uniform brush strokes, yung way ng pagbrush nila is paiba-iba, diagonally, may pa-horizontal, vertical, and more. With analytic cubism, dito naman is yung centralized yung development together with synthetic cubism na later on na i-discuss. As di ba nga nasabi na sina Picasso and Braque ang nag-invent ng cubism era. Yes po, Picasso and Braque ay pumapasok sa era na ito sa paggawa nila ng artworks sa traditional genres which is the portraiture and still life, or in other terms, natural forms. Dito halos may similar sila ng works but their separate interests emerge. Braque depicted fragmented objects while Picasso magnetized them. Juan Gris contributed to the style by maintaining clarity, suggesting a compositional grid, and introducing more color to the austere monochromatic style. Also, I want to add na ang characteristics sa era na ito is, ang emphasis niya is really not in color, but in the forms like cylinder, spear, and cone. This is para ma-present ang natural world. And monochromatic na nasabi pala, it is about sa may color scheme which is the gray, blue, and ochre. Synthetic Cubism, ito rin ang second na centralized part ng art movement na ito. Picasso and Braque introduced paper, coal, and cubist collage, two foreign elements into their compositions in 1912. This was a radical break from Renaissance-based depictions as well as reactions against the abstraction of analytic cubism. Picasso's experiments with sculptures also influenced the synthetic cubist movement.
In other words then, ito rin is parang reaction or response against sa may abstraction ng analytic cubism. Also, based on my research, paper colle is a French term which translates as pasted paper. Paper colle is a specific form of collage that is closer to drawing than painting. Mosaic and paper colle, also known as pasted paper, are analogous, as these two looks like collage, but ang difference nila is that yung paper in mosaic is about sa colors, while sa paper colle, parang any type like of kind of paper lang, or mga magazine, or yung mga recycle, or medyo mas broad siya compare sa mosaic. Also, in this era, first time ang collage na maging made as a fine artwork. Next slide, please. Lastly, crystal cubism. During the war, French artists, including cubists, shifted away from radical experimentation, resulting in a stage of cubism that gradually limited creative possibilities. This trend, known as crystal cubism, is associated with Salon Cubism, Picasso, and Braque, and is part of the return to order or interwar classicism, a broader trend in the School of Paris. Itong era was characterized by tight compositions, clarity, and order in their works. In short, may pagka-sharp yung features nila or yung artwork. This era are reaction sa chaotic post-World War period with exhibitions at Leon's Rosenberg's gallery emphasizing aesthetic purity, and a return to order. Dito rin pala sa kaligitnaan ng years ng Crystal Cubism is nag-end yung World War I, which is in 1918, so that's why may connect siya with war, yung mga artworks. Crystal Cubism marked a shift from pre-war Cubist themes, focusing on a formal approach and the artist's relationship with nature. The artistic movement reflected a broader societal shift towards conservatism in post-war France, making it a significant period in the history of modernism. Dito sa era na ito, yung colors din is may pagbabago na. From an example dito sa slide, medyo mas mukhang hardcore na siya yung datingan niya, yung features niya. Gumagamit na ng ibang colors na medyo matingkad. From monochromes na ochre blue gray, makikita natin na may pink and medyo dark color na yung green and more. At also, yung parang pagka-collage is talagang na-applied na sa artwork. Moving forward sa characteristics. These are the distinct qualities to Cubist artworks. First is the geometric shapes. Ito ay merong defined lines and shapes. Second, multiple viewpoints. Objects depicted from different angles. Objects are analyzed, broken up, and reassembled in abstract form. And third, flattened perspectives. The space is without depth and feels 2D. Lahat ng mga artworks dito is 2D. Also, in terms of colors, pinakamadalas na nagamit pa rin na schemes are use of tan, brown, gray, cream, green, or blue. It is preferred then daw, in order daw para hindi ma-distract yung viewer from the artist's primary interest or the structure of form itself. The next slides will be discussed by my partner, Marian Jelly Tajam.
We will discuss now the leading contributors and their influential works. First is Pablo Picasso, Spanish painter, printmaker, sculptor, and ceramist who is known as one of the most prolific influences on 20th century art. Style of paintings are bright colors. Many paintings are still lifes or self-portraits. Influential works. All Guitarist. All Guitarist is under blue period. The paintings are shades in blue and blue-green that convey a deep sense of loss. Second, Les Demoiselles d'Avignon, 1907, Famous piece of Pablo, it depicts 5 nude women in a brothel in Barcelona. The figures stand to confront the viewer. Their bodies are angular and disjointed, standing as if they are posing for the viewer. The last one is the seated female nude. Sorry for that. 2 is George Braque, French painter, printmaker, and sculptor who was a leading artist in both the Fauvism and Cubism moments. Style of the arts are mostly earthy colors, brown, green, and black. Many paintings are landscapes. Influential works, Castle at La Roche-Guyon, 1909. And then El Parque de Carrieres Saint-Denis, 1909. Harbor in Normandy, 1909. And Houses at El Estaque, 1908. The houses are fragmented with inconsistent shadows and a background that blends in with the objects. Third, Juan Gris, also a Spanish painter and a leading member of the Cubism. Style of the paints, more earthy colors, green, brown, blue, mostly of still life. Influential works, Beer, Glass, and Cards, 1913. Flowers, 1914. Breakfast, 1914. And The Portrait of Pablo Picasso, 1912. Ang pang-apat naman ay si Alexander Archipenko, first artist to apply the principles of Cubism to sculpture. Ang kanyang influential works ay ang Standing Woman noong 1920, Medrano II noong 1913 to 1914, Walking Woman, 1912. Walking Woman is a dynamic female that suggests forward motion. Lastly is Le Repos noong 1911. Last contributors is Joseph Leger, a French painter, sculptor, and filmmaker. Influential works, Nudes in the Forest, 1909 to 1910. Nudes in the Forest is exhibit at the Salon des Independents in 1911 and considered Leger's first major work. Second is Contrast of Forms, 1913, The Card Players, 1917, and The City, 1919. That's all for today. Thank you for listening.